Okay, today I want to take a moment to go over my current Panerai collection. As you can see, I am fond of the Panerai cases, the 44 millimeters here. Also have a 47 millimeter. That was, the PAM 372, something I felt that I really wanted to have in my collection. So anyway, going over the models as they are, if you're not familiar, first there is the PAM 372. A lot of people feel that this is the model that is quintessential Panerai DNA, 47 millimeter, styled after the 1950s case with the P3000 movement. It is an in-house movement, pretty much keeping it simple as such, which is what I believe is in keeping with the spirit of Panerai. It should be kind of basic and simple. That is part of the charm of the brand to me. After that, we have the PAM 1024 Submersible. This is almost identical to the PAM 24, which preceded it, but does have some slight revisions. The movement has a little bit of a longer power reserve, and also the lugs are now screw in, where I believe the previous model had quick release in many cases, except the earliest models. I did want to have a submersible, and for me, the 24, perhaps even the 25 in titanium, are indicative of the original style of Panerai submersibles. A big fan and always wanted to have one of these, so when one came available, I made sure to pick it up. And the next watch is a PAM 112. This 112 is an E series, so it has a few things that are unique to it, which is one of the reasons why I picked it up. One, you'll notice if you look carefully, it does not have a cutout dial, sandwich dial. This is a painted dial. This is only available on the earlier versions. I believe it ended with F, perhaps, the one after this version, the year after. And also the crown guard is polished and does not have the bulge in the front. It is a completely parallel sides. It also has the decorated movement as opposed to the later version with just stripes on it. So again, to me, a little bit special. And when I wanted, a display back original style Panerai case, I do prefer base, as you can probably tell looking at the collection, without the second hands. This 112E with its unique characteristics was something that I really wanted to have and added to my collection. The final model in my current collection is the first model that I purchased actually here in Tokyo, Japan. This is the PAM 55C. Again, I got it because it is slightly unusual. It's not the everyday Panerai. It is titanium, of course, that is readily apparent. It has a painted dial like the 112, but you may or may not be able to tell, but this is actually a brown dial. It is not black, it is brown. And this is, of course, a solid case back in this series. So this is a C series, which I believe, geez, probably going to get it wrong, but I think is 2001. So this watch is just about 20 years old right now, believe it or not. Fantastic piece. Maybe my favorite because it was my first. I have been a big Panerai fan for a long time, and when it became within my means to start a collection, this is the one I jumped on first. And considering how rare it is and how it is 20 years old and harks back to the original, the halcyon days, I guess, of Panerai, this is a really special piece for me. So, yeah, this is my current collection. Again, 372, 1024, 112E, and then the 55C. All the straps are obviously aftermarket. This is from Mario, known as CB straps in Spain. This one I can't recall where I got it from. I think it's an independent strap maker, but it is also handmade. This is a Bob shark skin. I like Bob straps a lot. They're very high quality for not so much money, and they really fit the Panerai look. It is, again, like I say, shark skin, which I think is appropriate for this era of Panerai too. If you've seen pictures of, pre-V models, often come on shark skin. Again, Bob straps. I got that from Wakex. Marcus, I believe, is the guy who sells those. Really good shop, good prices, good service. And also, this is also a Bob strap. in suede. Wonderful strap. If you want to get straps that look like and feel like the original straps, but don't want to, spend a lot of money, Bob straps are really the way to go. And very, very high quality, great straps. And you can buy several of them in different colors or whatever textures or materials to suit your tastes, as you so desire, because they aren't too pricey. And I believe I heard a rumor that Bob actually was one of the original manufacturers, or whoever was behind Rios perhaps manufactured some Panerai straps. So it's kind of getting close to the real deal. But again, all 44 here. To me, the 1024 actually wears a little bit smaller because the smaller dial with a larger bezel. I have a 7.5-inch wrist, and you can see I'm wearing one of my G-Shocks right now. I'm an equal opportunity watch enthusiast. I do like G-Shocks as well. My wrist is quite flat on the top too, so these cases sit very well for me and fit very well. When I was younger, I was more of a fan of big watches and just drawn to Panerai in general, but I think the history and the reasons why Panerais are big, if you look at the movements, of course, it's because, the pocket watch movement. So it had to be big to fit it in the case. So there's a purpose behind its size, which I appreciate, more than just trying to be big to be, decorative. I'll fog that up nice, excuse me. There's actual reason for the size, not just like a giant case with a tiny movement inside like we see with a lot of watches today. So for me, that's always appealing of Panerai. I know that the Panerai history is a bit muddied. That Panerai, different ownership, have tried to embellish the history a little bit, but still there's enough history there for me, enough of a legacy to really enjoy. I do get into like this is an ammo strap, with the stamps from the flotilla. That adds a kind of extra charm to it for me. It's not, you don't have to buy into the mythology too much to enjoy it just for what it is. It's just it's fun, it's charming, it has a lot of character. Like Panerai in general, to me, is a very characterful watch. They're not the highest tech. They're very, very simple, extremely easy to read. All the movements, of course, are extremely reliable, based on ETAs, 64797. And this is based on a Area 7750, of course. So, the technology is tried and true. And this is, of course, in-house, but I think it's a fairly conservative movement, nothing crazy on there. It's hand wind after all, and not incredibly complex. It should be quite reliable. So that simplicity of design, simplicity of movement, the fact that you can change straps as you will, as moods hit, as the weather changes, whatever you want to do, is part of the appeal for Panerai to me. Honestly, I enjoy the brand maybe more than any other brand I own. I own Rolex, IWC, JLC, Omega, Grand Seiko, Breitling, several others. And I love them all. That's why I have them in my collection. But for me, nothing has the charm quite like Panerai does. And nothing makes me look at it more, surprisingly, than a Panerai. Although, like Grand Seiko, for example, I do appreciate the craftsmanship and I can really look at it quite a lot. Something about the bold simplicity of Panerai, of this design, particularly the Betterini case, it seems like it's just always just right for me. I don't know why. I don't feel like I'm influenced in any way on that. It's just my personal preferences. I know Panerai isn't as cool as it used to be, so even more so, it's my personal preference over than, what is the currently desirable watch or style these days. But for me, these will probably always stay in my collection. I don't see getting rid of any of them. They all have a certain reason why I had them. The reason still exists, so therefore they still exist in my collection. I can always change the look again with the straps, change my moods. I can dress them up, I can dress them down, and use the ammo straps or a little more dressy, kind of Assolumenti strap. Panerai is a brand I like a lot. Big fan of them since the beginning. You don't see me behind the camera, but since I was 15 years old, I've been a bodybuilder, competitive bodybuilder, and of course, the fact that Schwarzenegger wore them in the old days, and Stallone, and all the action heroes up to now with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, so he sports Panerai. It does have some influence, I guess, overall on the mystique of the brand for me. But it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's part of the fun aspect, and if you take it right and just enjoy it for what it is, there's no reason you can't enjoy yourself with your watch and the history behind it. So again, it's my current collection: 372, 1024, 112E, 55C. Each one has a reason in my collection. Each one has a reason to be in my heart. I do enjoy them, and I hope if any of you do have interest in Panerai, think about picking one up, I recommend going to the dealer and any kind of watch shop that serves them, and put one on, see how it feels. If it hits you right, if it has that charm that so many of us find they do, it probably won't be the last one you pick up. You may find yourself with 4 someday instead of just 1. But in any case, they're my watches. I enjoy them, and I hope you enjoy my videos about watches. Write your comments down below if you have anything to add around Panerai. I'm open-minded to, people who are big fans or not so much. That's fine. Everybody has their own right to have their likes and dislikes. I look forward to hearing from you, and look forward to making more videos for you. Okay, thank you very much, and till next time, see ya.